Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing running back landing spots in 2021's free agency for the NFL. We are going to be discussing just the running back position inside of this video. Now, I'm not going to be talking about every single running back because, frankly, there's a lot of running backs that are available in free agency, and most of them are completely irrelevant to a video when you're trying to discuss the top players at the running back position. Some of the guys in this video, you guys may think, hey, that guy's kind of useless, but in my opinion, I think I need to be talking about them, so I will be doing that in this video. If I missed out on a player that you wanted to hear my opinion on, please let me know down below in the comment section, and we can talk about it down below in the comment section. I will reply to you. We can have a nice conversation down there so that I can give you guys my feelings on those players if you wanted to hear it while you're down there. If you do end up enjoying it at any point inside this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, because not only is it free, I put out content every single day surrounding around the NFL mostly. I am a fantasy football YouTube channel, but with the draft surrounding around now, I talk a lot about the NFL draft, talk a lot about football as a whole, free agency, franchise tags, all this stuff is coming up soon. Free agency is going to be coming up quick, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I will be posting the news as it happens when players get signed that I want to talk about. So we begin the running back free agency landing spots video with Kenyan Drake. Now, this video and the running backs are not in any order. I don't think Kenyan Drake's the best running back available. I just went on a website, typed in NFL running back free agents so that I had a full list, and this is kind of the order they were listed in. So we began with Kenyan Drake, formerly of my Miami Dolphins, and became an Arizona Cardinal after a trade halfway through the 2019 NFL season. Now, Kenyan Drake's time in Arizona, to me, is definitely dwindling. In my opinion, I don't see him signing back to the Arizona Cardinals, so in this video, we're going to be discussing where he can end up going, and to me, he is going to be a Seattle Seahawk. It seems like the Seattle Seahawks do not want to bring back Chris Carson. Chris Carson, in my opinion, one of the more talented running backs in the NFL, who we're going to be talking about in a couple of minutes. It seems like they also want to get rid of Carlos Hyde, who is an all-right running back, at least as a backup, so it would be hard to believe that, in my opinion, Rashad Penny would be able to handle the workload of being a running back one on a team, a workhorse running back. Why? Because the guy cannot stay healthy. He simply has the talent to be a pretty solid running back in the NFL, but injuries have beat this man down like Mike Tyson when he beat someone probably in 12 seconds. I can't even think of a fight off the top of my head when Jorge Masvidal kneed Ben Askren into Jupiter in that UFC fight in 12 seconds. That's what I'm talking about here. I really do believe that injuries are going to hurt Penny too much to where he will never be that guy. So Drake fits nicely on this team. He definitely did have a downturn in 2020. After getting traded from the Dolphins to the Arizona Cardinals, I thought this guy's career was fully revitalized. The Dolphins didn't want him because they were cleaning house, right? Flores comes in, they're losing these games. Even though we tried to win, they're losing these games. And then we ship off Mr. Drake, and I'm like, all right, whatever. He played 6 games for us. He goes to the Cardinals, plays 8 games, gets 643 yards in 8 games, 8 rushing touchdowns. That's pretty good, right? 171 receiving yards on 28 receptions. That's very good. So I'm thinking, man, 2020 is going to be Kenyan Drake's year. Just Chase Edmonds is behind him. There's really nothing stopping Kenyan Drake. And it felt like either the coaching stopped Kenyan Drake, which kind of seemed like, because he wasn't given as many carries in certain areas than I would have liked. And it seemed like early on in the year, they really wanted to use both Edmonds and Drake in the same system, because Drake fucking sucked in comparison to what I thought he would be. He played in 15 games. He had only 955 yards and 10 touchdowns. Again, understanding 2019, he played 8 games. So if you double his yards, he would have gotten 1,300 yards. Around 1,300 yards. But he only got 955 in 15 games. So he was much worse in 2020, but I really think Kenyan Drake still has a lot of juice in the tank. He's a young running back. He is only 27 years old. He's not fucking Frank Gore. So if I'm Seattle and I'm getting rid of Chris Carson, I'll take Kenyan Drake on not the highest of salary. I think you can get him on a nice deal, and if the Seattle Seahawks continue to play with Russell Wilson, which they should, there's obviously a lot of noise circling, oh, Russ is going to be gone. Personally, I think he plays in Seattle in 2021. I think this is a very good fit for a very promising running back in Kenyan Drake. Next up is Seattle Seahawk running back Chris Carson, who's getting replaced by Kenyan Drake. Now, if I'm the Seattle Seahawks, I'm telling you this right now, I am putting the pen to the paper, John Hancock style, and letting Chris Carson sign that bitch. I am. Chris Carson's very good. in my opinion, Chris Carson legitimately has the talent to be a top 12 running back in the NFL. But Seattle, they don't want to pay him. It just seems like they don't want to pay him. It seems like Chris Carson is as good as done in Seattle, at least based off of the news report I've seen. So, Chris Carson's going to go to the Jets. Now, this sucks kind of for fantasy, but they legitimately have no running backs there. Frank Gore's gone. So they have LaMichael P. Ryan, and who else? Exactly. No one. Okay? And I think that this fit is very good for the Jets. They are a team that is trying to get much better, and having a good running back when you bring in a new quarterback, which they're likely going to do in the draft, fits like a glove. Shout out to O.J. Simpson, because we know that New Yorker, he actually didn't fit like a glove. If the glove don't fit, we must acquit. And I'm thinking Chris Carson is really going to turn it around in 2021 after having what I would call a down season. Just like with Kenyan Drake, he had a down 2021 NFL season. 2018 and 2019, Chris Carson went back-to-back Michael Jordan 96-97 on 1,000-yard rushing seasons. 1,151 in 2018, 1,230 in 2019. And then in 2020, the roller coaster was going all the way to the top, and the wheels just fell off the roller coaster, and it fucking smacked directly into the ground like you're playing in Roller Coaster Tycoon. He played in 12 games, only got 681 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. Lowest touchdowns of his career besides 2017, his rookie year, where he only got 49 rushes. He had much less rushes this year with only 141 due to injury. So I do think he is going to bounce back in New York, and I think this is a very good spot for the Jets, as Chris Carson kind of had a down year, so maybe he will be much cheaper than a guy like Aaron Jones, who we're going to be talking about later, who is by far and away the best running back in free agency, but I think Chris Carson, personally, is the second best running back. Next up here is Todd Gurley of the Atlanta Falcons, formerly of the Los Angeles Rams, who literally just fucking took that guy. It would seem like, Gurley's going to have an all right year with LA, right? Seemed like it. They just threw him out. We don't want you anymore when, what's the name of the guy from Toy Story? Andy? He just has fucking Woody, and he says, I don't want you anymore. And he launches him. I think that's what happens. I think that's the meme. Verbal meme. I don't want you anymore, Todd Gurley, from Sean McVay. He did the same thing with Jared Goff. Todd Gurley of the Falcons is going to be a 49er. Now, to me, this one's more of a guess, because if I'm Todd Gurley, I'm just closing my eyes and signing the biggest bag they can give me, because this knee arthritis is legit, and it is too legit to quit, because actually it's so legit that he may have to quit. He may. It's very bad. Very, very bad news for Mr. Todd Gurley. I do not like it. Very, very nice. I do not like Borat. That was my Borat voice right there I was trying to do. But Todd Gurley was really good. If you guys remember his rookie season, the last 3 years he was in the NFL, besides last season, this guy is skull fucking the NFL. He is dicking them down like their name was Riley Reid. It was amazing. It was amazing. This guy was legitimately looked at as one of two of the best running backs in the NFL back when Le'Veon Bell was good. Him and Le'Veon Bell were the 1-2 punch at the top of the NFL running back class. They were that good. Both kind of fell off, but Todd Gurley really fell off due to that injury. And I really do believe the 49ers backfield is an excellent home for him. Why? Because what they do is they run a RBBC, running back by committee. 4 words, running back by committee. That's what they do. So what they're going to do is they're going to use one time, they're going to run, right? And it's going to be Jerick McKinnon, right? Could have been, but Jerick McKinnon's ass is gone. He's gone. Tevin Coleman, gone. Like fairy dust, gone. Poof. Shout out to Poof from Timmy Turner. They're going to be gone. Who's left? Jeff Wilson, Raheem the Dream Mostert. So we're looking at a very, very good spot for Todd Gurley to succeed. Why? Because they will just rotate these guys in and out. He will not have to carry a running back one workload. In Atlanta, he literally got benched. He played terrible. He did not play good at all. But if he is not looked at to get 20 carries a game, if he's just going to get 6 every single game, and his arthritis is able to be fine, Todd Gurley can legitimately be a game breaker for this team, and with how he's played, he should be relatively cheap, so don't be surprised if the 49ers sign old man Todd Gurley in free agency. If you guys have ended up enjoying this video through the first 3 running backs, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. Next up is the big hitter of the running back free agency class in 2021, and that is Aaron Jones, Mr. Discount Double Checks boy, Aaron Jones of the Green Bay Packers. Now, everything that I have seemed to have read, and everything my brain is telling me, it's telling me that the Dolphins are going to sign Packers running back Aaron Jones, and it seems like the Packers want to get rid of him because they brought in A.J. Dillon to be Aaron Jones 2.0. A.J. Dillon didn't look great in his rookie year, but he was just a rookie. And we're going to talk about Jamal Williams a little later, but I think there's going to be there's going to be a two-headed backfield. Aaron Jones going to be gone, so there's only two guys left there. Spoiler alert. Aaron Jones, though, in Miami, fits amazingly. As a Dolphins fan, if we do not pick with our second pick in the first round, right, we have the third pick, and I believe we have the 18th pick. If we do not select Najee Harris there out of Alabama, just get Aaron Jones. It's easy. Tua has a guy he can dump the ball off to. Tua now has a guy he can hand the ball off to. That's going to get 70 yards a game. 70-plus yards every single game. 78.9 average in 2020. An all-pro Pro Bowler. I don't think he actually got first-team All-Pro, but he was a Pro Bowler. 14 games, 1,100 rushing yards. Got 1,000 rushing yards in 2019. Scored 16 touchdowns. 2019. 2020 scored 9 touchdowns rushing. He can also catch the ball. 63 targets, 47 receptions, 355 yards, and 2 touchdowns. To me, he's the best running back in this free agency class. And if he goes to the Dolphins, that's a great fit. As a Dolphins fan, I'm happy drafting Najee Harris, and I'm happy keeping Carol Gaskin, as well as keeping Salvon Ahmed, because I think that's fine. But if I'm the Dolphins, and I want Tua to feel safe, if you have Aaron Jones back there, you just hand it to him, boom, 6 yards, 5.5 yards, you're happy. And then when you're on the goal line, you hand Aaron Jones, it's a fucking touchdown every time. Every time. You don't have to worry about throwing a fucking fade to Mike Gesicki 60 times, which isn't going to work, Chan Gailey. Thank God your ass is out of town. Now, as a Dolphins fan, I don't want to get mad at the Dolphins, but I really do like this move if the Dolphins can secure Aaron Jones. I think that's where he would want to go. There's no state taxes. Wink, wink, wink. Next up, Le'Veon Bell, Mr. Jetski, Le'Veon Bell of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this might sound crazy, but I think he's going back home to the black and yellow to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Half of the Steelers fans hate Le'Veon Bell. The other half of the Steelers fans understand it. The guy wanted his money. He said, have you ever seen that video where the guy's like, tell them to bring me my money? That's what fucking Le'Veon Bell did. He said, tell them to bring me my money. And then the Jets slapped them with the money, and the franchise bitch slapped the guy around because he did not do anything in a New York Football Jets uniform. Adam Gase screwed the pooch on him. He did. Hilarious signing. Then they just get out of here. Chiefs sign him. Chiefs don't even use him. They don't use him. Le'Veon, if you guys remember, like I talked about earlier, one of the best running backs in the league back in the day. In 2018, when he held out, he wanted humongous money, which is what he kind of got in the Jets. Now, the Steelers don't have to pay him humongous money if they want him back. And with James Conner likely out the door, this seems like a perfect fit for old friends Big Ben and Le'Veon Bell to run it back at least one more time. Next guy up here, Mike Davis of the Carolina Panthers. I believe he gets re-signed by the Carolina Panthers. Now, there's a lot of speculation going around the NFL that Christian McCaffrey may get dealt for Deshaun Watson with the picks. If that doesn't happen, I think Mike Davis is gone. Mike Davis is a sneaky good player. Sneaky good because most people probably have no idea who he is. Unless you play fantasy football and you had Christian McCaffrey and then you picked up Mike Davis and Mike Davis put the team on his back for your fantasy team, then you probably don't know Mike Davis. Probably don't. Just the guy that replaced Christian McCaffrey. But the guy that replaced Christian McCaffrey is good. Let's take a look at his stats. Mike Davis, who has been on 1, 2, 3, 4 different teams. Who cares? He's getting passed around a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. 4 different teams. Been in the NFL for a long time. 28 years old. But the guy carried an amazing load in 2020. He had 600 rushing yards in the games he started. Didn't start all these games. Played 12 games. Didn't really start all those games. He gets a bunch of receptions. 59 receptions. 373 receiving yards. Had so many touchdowns. How many touchdowns did he have? He had 6. He's a good player. He's a sneaky good player. His stats may not be amazing, but go back and watch. Mike Davis just perfectly fit where Christian McCaffrey was. No Christian McCaffrey, no fucking worry because Mike Davis is good. So while he's not going to get talked about with the Kenyan Drake, well, Kenyan Drake, maybe he's not up there. He's not going to get talked about with Chris Carson. Not going to get talked about like Aaron Jones. But he could be that good. He really could be. He's getting old. So you can pay him a little bit less. I think the Panthers re-sign him. If they trade Christian McCaffrey, this is an excellent move. If not, he could sneaky be a really good running back for the Buffalo Bills. For the Buffalo Bills in 2021 would be my guess if he does not re-sign with the Carolina Panthers. Next up, we got James White of the New England Deflatriots, and he's going with Tampa Bay Tom Brady to Tampa Bay to sign with the Buccaneers. Now, this is the most safe pick I've ever heard in my life. This, to me, seems like destiny. Gronk, fucking Brady, James White, the Super Bowl squad, running it back turbo in 2021 for back-to-back Super Bowls for Tom Brady. Tom Brady may like to kiss James White more than he likes to kiss his son, because James White, if you guys remember in the Super Bowl, they're down 28-3. James White scores 7 million touchdowns. He was great. Tony the Tiger would even say it. They're great. That's how good he was. He was great. Seems like the perfect move. Uncle Lenny, Leonard Fournette, likely going to be gone. Unless they re-sign him, then this is kind of out the window. But they don't really have James White type. We're talking about Keyshawn Vaughn last season. Always the James White type. The guy doesn't see the field. Bruce Arians is weirdo, but James White is very good. And I think James White finds his home back with Tom to make James White great again in 2021. Next up here, we got Mr. Big Trust, Mark Ingram of the Baltimore Ravens. And I think he finds his home in Atlanta. The Falcons love old, washed running backs like Todd Gurley, right? Funny, but I'm only kidding, because Mark Ingram really isn't washed. He's just not as good as J.K. Dobbins, who was arguably the best running back coming into the NFL last year. So don't be surprised that Mark Ingram got Big Trust his way out of there. I think Atlanta's a fine spot because I don't think he's going to be receiving a big contract as his age has gotten older. If you're a big Mark Ingram fan, or if you're a big NFL fan, you remember Mark Ingram from when he was on the Saints. And then you saw, Alvin Kamara took his job. And they went to Baltimore, and then, a new running back took his job. So maybe the Falcons draft him. And then next year, or not draft him, they just move for him. And then next year, someone takes his job again. Very sad for Mr. Big Trust, but he is a very good veteran leader. We saw that in Atlanta. He is like a face of the team. Not in Atlanta, in Seattle. Not Seattle, you dumb motherfucker. In Baltimore. He wasn't even playing, and you're still seeing clips of this guy. Like fucking doing all this stuff on the sideline. He's hilarious. He's a veteran on the team, and I believe that he will help out the Falcons a lot. I believe that when they want a young quarterback to potentially go into the game, maybe Trey Lance, maybe Justin Fields, you want a guy like Mark Ingram there to speak to you. The quarterback whisperer, Mark Ingram. I love this move to the Atlanta Falcons. He's not in his heyday anymore, but he's still good enough to be fine for the Atlanta Falcons. Next up, we got Phillip Lindsay of the Denver Broncos. Now, I am one of Phillip Lindsay's biggest fans. I love Phillip Lindsay. The Afro God has been screwed by the fact that the organization wanted to bring in Melvin Gordon. And for that reason, I think he's gone. I think Phillip Lindsay's gone, and I think he goes to the Giants. Okay? Now, this might not make a lot of sense. Oh, he's not going to get the chance to start. Obviously not. But Saquon's got to go off the field at some point. Seems like Wayne Gallman's gone. Deion Lewis is gone. Alfred Morris is gone. And Lindsay has already proved that he's a good running back, too, on a team. His first 2 years in the NFL, over 1,000 yards. Last year, wasn't getting as much work because of Melvin Gordon, got 500 yards. Okay? But he's a great pass catcher. 35 catches in 2018. 35 catches in 2019. Only 14 in 2020, but he was playing less games. Phillip Lindsay is a very good running back, and if he's the backup and Saquon was to go down, knock on wood, obviously, don't want Saquon to go down. I love Saquon Barkley, but what I'm saying is he's a very good backup. Just so you know, if my face was looking a little bit weird there in that last sentence, it's because I sneezed, and I cut it out. Snip, snip, cut it out. Shout out to Uncle Joey from Full House. But yeah, Phillip Lindsay, very underrated guy that could be a very good bell cow. Not really a bell cow, right? Because he's not big. He's 5'8", 190. But still a really good running back. And we saw Gallman have success in New York with Barkley going down. So if that was to happen again, I think Lindsay would legitimately eat like Ezekiel Elliott here. I like this spot, but I would like to see Lindsay go to a team where he could be the guy. Like in the 49ers. If he went to the 49ers, I would be ecstatic. But I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. Next up here, we got Uncle Lenny, Henny Lenny, Playoff Lenny, Super Bowl winner Lenny, Leonard Fournette of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Jaguars cut this man. Or did they trade him? I don't remember. I think they cut him. I really do. Oh, man, I felt bad for Lenny. And then everyone was on Rock Armstead, and then we saw James White blow up. But that has nothing to do with this video. Leonard Fournette is going to the Cardinals. They're going to get rid of Kenyan Drake. Lenny didn't play a lot this year, but in the playoff Lenny was legit. This guy is a beast on the goal line. He's scoring touchdowns. Everyone loves Leonard Fournette, so there's definitely a way he re-signs with the Bucs. And then our James White dream is dead. But for this, where James White gets his dream, goes back with Tampa Bay Tom, they get to kiss, they get to meet up again. Uncle Lenny's going to the Cardinals. Seems like a good spot for him to revitalize his career. What Kenyan Drake couldn't have done, I think Leonard Fournette can do. Final player, Jamal Williams, because I talked about him earlier. I think Jamal re-signs with the Packers. He has shown spurts of being good without A.J. Dillon there. So if Dillon's there and Dillon's trying to get up there, he's a younger guy. This is a good fit because now you just have good fit. I mean, he's already been on the team, but this is a good fit in the sense of this is a good 1-2 punch, 1-2 Mayweather type deal. So I think that Jamal Williams does find home back in Green Bay in 2021. I think they keep him. So let me know down below what you guys thought about this video. Was I completely wrong? Is James White not going to be a Buck? Is Mike Evans not going to be a Panther? Is Kenyan Drake going to stay in Arizona? Is Chris Carson going to be on the Seahawks again? Probably not, but maybe you guys think that. So let me know down below. It's always fun to talk about free agency, and in a couple of days, we're going to know exactly what happens in free agency. Happy March. We are in March now. Happy March. I appreciate all the love. I took 2 days off this week, Saturday, Sunday, because I literally haven't missed an upload in like a year and a half. I needed a break. I did. It's hard to post that much content in a row, and your brain is running like a fucking hamster, but the hamster has no legs type deal at that situation, and I was just tired. I was. But now I'm back, better than ever. I'm fired up. I hope you guys had a fun time in this video. This was a very good time, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of your guys' day. I'll see you beautiful bastards tomorrow with the wide receiver free agents. Have a great rest of your guys' day. I do love you guys all so much. Thank you guys for the constant support. We'll be back tomorrow again. I love you all, guys. Make sure you guys stay safe, and happy Monday.